everyone, and welcome to the Walking Life Journey podcast. For those who don't know, I'm Keandra, and I'm here today with
Lorenzo White.
And Nikita.
Okay.
So don't get scared. Yo, we are in here. We are back, you all. We kind of taking the wheel today because our co-host down on the end, she's still trying to get her voice right. Hey, thank you guys for joining us last week. As you could tell, we was missing some folks last week, but we back in full effect. Well, not maybe full effect, but we halfway there.
We here.
Yeah,
we here. And if you have not watched last week's episode, it did not go on Podbeam, Spotify, any of those. You have to go to our YouTube channel because Mr. White has been juicing it up. As y'all can hear, my voice is not 100%, but it's so much better.
So much better, y'all. She
So
sound like a man in the bed.
much
I don't,
better.
that ain't what we do. Huh?
Mm.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. And as always, you can always find us on
YouTube, Podbean, Apple Music, Spotify.
Lowe's, Zamzos, Home Depot. We ain't forgetting about y'all. We love y'all.
For those that are starting this journey with us for the very first time, we say thank you. You have landed on the WLJ community. And those that continue to watch us week after week, we appreciate you greatly.
Yes, sir. So what are we getting into today?
Today, I thought we would talk about making friends as adults.
All right. Making friends as adults.
Yes. Now, this topic came to us by being on our cruise that we shared with the community just a tad bit. But before we dive into that, I must share, and Bae, you can talk a little bit about this. But one thing I love about a child's heart is we watched Jakari on Saturday. And I tell you, I don't care where he goes. He's an only child. Half the time, he's the only child with us. But when we take him somewhere, he's going to make the most out of that situation.
Yeah, one thing about that little dude, he is not afraid of anything. He is not afraid to go up, introduce himself, or just insert himself into a game or anything else that's going on. So that's one thing I love about him, man. He is open heart and just willingness to just do. And a lot of times as we get older, that's something that we kind of, we go into our shell, don't want to open up as much. So that was dope to see.
Yeah, because he did. And I love how you use the word inserted because we went to the park and there was a group of kids already on the playground, a father. They were already playing tag.
Tag, yeah.
And Kari didn't say, hey, can I play? Hey, I'm here. Next thing you know, he was running on the equipment. I was like, ha, you can't get me. You can't get me.
That's it. He was ready.
Yeah. And sitting back there and watching him. And I know, Keandra, you probably get to see him do that a lot when you take him to different playgrounds. But watching him made me think about what has changed about our hearts as you become adults. Why can't you stay that pure and innocent of saying we can make friends? But something happens along our journey that we become guarded and we suspect the worst out of people. I don't know. So I figured we talk about this topic a little bit. What y'all think?
Let's go.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Where do we start with this?
Well, let's start with, we shared last time we did our podcast that we had just got back from this cruise.
Oh, yeah.
And that cruise was supposed to be like a class reunion type thing. That is not what it ended up being. But what I tell you was that cruise was just what we needed.
Absolutely.
It was just what we needed. But no matter where we were at on that ship, we were meeting people. But it was one couple that stood out to me, stood out to us because it was like it clicked. It was natural. You didn't have no awkward silence. You didn't have no random like, what do I got to say? What let me grab for conversation?
Yeah.
It was natural. It's like we sat down and knew this couple for years. I don't know. How did you feel about that?
Now, I felt the same way. I'm definitely an introvert when it comes to meeting people and stuff like that. And I stay guarded for the most part because I like to watch and see what's going on. But when we met them, the circumstances that we met them under was cool as far as the chef's dinner and stuff like that. And the way things just flowed, it was natural. And they made it easy. They made it easy. It wasn't like, I mean, you meet people and you get a sense of, okay, that's what's up. Nice to meet you, and you keep moving. But no, conversation was good,
Yeah.
and just again, and I think back to different songs and stuff that I hear, like "No New Friends" and different stuff like that, And when I thought about making friends, it's like, I never really thought about the term, okay, making friends as adults, but
Yeah.
the more I hear things, the more I listen to things, people's point of view that I respect, it's like, okay, I can understand the value of making friends
Yeah.
older, because some of the friends that I had when I was a child, that I can't necessarily say that I would still have them. Let me word this the proper way.
Uh-huh.
They were good for that time, but I can't necessarily say that what they gave me then is what I need now. I need something different now.
Like how
And
you
the
put
only
that.
way that I'm gonna be able to get to my next destination, be it business, be it whatever, is to surround myself with people with those like interests. Not necessarily saying that they're gonna become like friends, but you gotta start a network of
Yeah,
people that you can
absolutely.
trust. That's what a
Yeah.
friend is, somebody you could
And
trust
that's what that is,
and
a
confide in
network.
and stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think is great to be able to do that as an adult. You know, I mean, at least now you're old enough to have discernment as far as who you letting into your circle, not just by default because we grew up in the same neighborhood. You my friend. Let's do this. Let's do that. That's all fine and dandy, and that's great. That's developing social skills.
Mhm.
But down the line as we get older, because a lot of people that I was like, man, we're gonna be friends forever. I haven't talked to people in years. So
Yeah.
you have to be able to step out of your comfort zone and meet people. That's how you grow as an individual.
You talk about having those friends that we make as children, right? So growing up, I do still have good connections with
Me
a
as well.
core group of friends.
Mhm.
And my group sometimes they don't like to let
Not
new
at all.
people in.
Not at all. They're very protective
They
in
are.
that way.
But we have started to recognize exactly what you said. We have moved away from each other. What we need can look different.
Mhm.
And so it's nothing wrong with networking. And I love how you talked about that discernment because it's who you got to know. And you can feel people. I'm such an energy person. You can feel, are you good for us? Are you good for me? And if you're not, you let it go. I'm not saying you got to like, oh, I can't talk to you because sometimes you need people in different situations.
Absolutely.
You never know who's going to be that bank teller or who's going to be that loan officer or who's going to be that CEO that you're going to cross. You just never know. You never know where you're going to end up. So I believe in doing some networking, which I can't say we have always done,
Nah.
but something about this year, it has felt so natural to just not meet anybody, but meet the right people. And while we're meeting these people, it's not meeting you one time and saying, boom, but keeping in touch.
Yeah.
Keeping in touch. So with that, while we talk about that, I'm just gonna hold that conversation right there, put a pin in it. Keandra. Because I always hear her say, I am so bad at keeping in touch with people. But we could be in the house and we're like, hey, have you talked to so and so? I haven't heard you say anything about them lately. She's like, yeah, you know what? It's been a month. It's been 2 months. Let's talk about the importance of keeping in touch. How you doing with that?
I'm so bad at keeping in touch. It's just that days just go by, and next thing you know, it's been like 6 months, 2 months, and it's just really trying to be intentional with it. Because even me, I've been on the search for like finding new people to hang out with or just new friends, because finding friends isn't how it used to be. In school, you were forced to be in a school building together. In college, we was forced to be on campus together, and now it's kind of like, oh, how do you
You really have a choice, right?
I had this conversation because my best friend lives in Washington, so we're not close to each other. So we're like, how do we meet friends? Do we gotta go to workout classes? Do we just gotta? And then we try to like have like make connections with new people, and it's just a struggle. It's like hanging out with people is like scheduling appointments now, and then those appointments get pushed 6 months later. Everyone's just always busy. It's just But I do try to be intentional with it. Like the ones I'm truly friends with, it's been a few months.
It's easy to get caught up in the day
It
to
is.
day, and next thing you know, you haven't heard from your friend in like 6 months. And that's one thing. Like you use the word intentional. You have to be intentional about reaching out and just even drop. It's so easy to get in touch with somebody now, even if you just drop a text, let them know, yo, man, you crossed my mind. Yo, how's everything going? Um, Being intentional. That's huge because if everybody's busy, nobody's gonna talk to each other.
And I think it also makes it difficult because when I try to like just planning things with people in general, at my age, people automatically go to like wanting to go out. And really, if someone's my friend, I don't want to just go out every time we see each other. I want to be able to come over in sweatpants and we
Yes,
watch a movie and just chill. So it's kind of like that hard battle right
Finding those things that are an interest. We don't need to be out all the time. I want somebody we can put on a movie, we can cook or whatever, but it doesn't have to be going out.
Yeah.
Like I know you say intentional, and I think that's what it is, right? So we're going back to Jakari. He doesn't have the busy life. I mean, he has a schedule. He got football, he got soccer, he got school, he got those things. But in his mind, he's like, okay, so I need to go play. Can I go next door and see if the neighbor's home? Can I go over here and see?
That's what his priority is.
Right. It's his priority. That's exactly where I
want to have fun. That's his priority.
It's his priority. He's going to make sure before the 24 hours of the day leaves, he's going to connect with the friend because that's what his priority is, having fun. And as we get older, our priorities shift that you get so busy that by the time you look up, you're like, dang, I haven't reached out in 6 months.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, that's ridiculous. When we have all this good old technology.
And how you brought up the friends thing. I think in Idaho, we kind of have an advantage because a lot of people from Idaho are away from their families. So everyone's in the battle of like just trying to meet people. But some places it's like everyone has their cliques. No one's interested.
Circles,
or if they have like siblings and stuff, no one's interested in meeting new people. And it's hard to insert yourself in a group that's already like established.
Yeah. That's true.
It definitely is. But again, if you really think about it, right, you lock yourself into a certain group of people. Say you got 6 true friends that you have.
Yeah.
And then those friends get busy, start falling off one by one. Then you down to one. Next thing you know, everybody's busy. And you find yourself like, dang, do I got any friends? I've definitely, that has crossed my mind. Even though I know I have friends, it's like, man, I really don't have nobody I hang out with.
And then we like, no, you do. Let's step back. And we're like, well, what about this person? What about this person? Like, no, we do. You do have good friends. They're just not. You don't have a boatload of friends.
Right.
But is always having a boatload of friends a good thing?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Definitely want quality.
I want quality over quantity.
Yeah, and that's what we have.
Yeah.
But just for instance, we're out here away from everybody. We're in Idaho.
Yeah.
We had to develop our own group here, right?
Yep.
And it's like, okay, if this person is gone home, okay, I'm hanging out by myself until this person get back.
Yeah.
So as far as developing those social circles that you can actually get in, aside from your main folks, you know what I'm saying? It's very important.
Yeah. I used to always talk to one of my friends and I said, I believe in having multiple circles.
Yes.
I'm not saying every circle is going to hold the same quality, the same, right? But at least you have those circles. And even when I think back, I think I've always been like that though. Because when I think back to high school, you was that cheerleader, but didn't hang with all the cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. You were that, where they say your smartness, but you didn't hang around all the smartness. Mm-hmm. Like I've always tried to fit in multiple groups, but sometimes that could also be a downfall. I've always tried to fit in so many groups that when it came down to like, where did I get the most bang? Mm-hmm. It was like, I've always floated. I always floated, and I still do that as an adult. I mean, you work and you hope that you can meet friends at work, but when you are the supervisor, making friends at work isn't necessarily the option because then you worry about, wow, if I hang out with this person, now I'm showing favoritism. So where are you meeting your friends at? Is it the gym? Is it the classes? What is it? Do you try to insert yourself in another group? Is that going to be good? When you, like you said, when you have siblings, it's different. You always have somebody to hang out with. But when you don't have those siblings, you try to always meet someone. And then I just go back to that cruise where the couple that we met, it was funny because when we first sat down beside them, they got up and moved. And I said, well, I thought I smelled good today. I thought I showered. Didn't know, whatever. End up going through the dinner and we end up sitting across from each other and then just talking more and more. But then we were like, what are y'all doing the last day on the boat? Well, guess what? The last day on the boat ain't nobody getting off. If you getting off, I'm sorry, because you shouldn't have got off. We ain't docking nowhere. So if you getting off, that means you jumped over. So we're like, you know what? We don't have any plans. Let's get together. And we got together, and I think we sat out there for hours just talking and talking. And since that cruise, I believe I've checked in on them about 3 times now. Just, hey, how y'all doing? And we always say, if I'm in your area, we going to call you. Don't ever tell me to come when we in your area. You always got a place to stay or call us, because I will take you up on that offer. And then they said they didn't know anybody from Idaho. So we let them know. Well, now you got friends in Idaho. Call us. Come see what Idaho is about. But it's just that, I don't know, it felt right. It felt right. So on that note, I got to take a drink.
Go ahead, sip.
This cold still in there just a tad bit.
That's good that you see how you checking on people is how I need to get, because when I go back to visit my friends, they're always like, dang, Keandra, what you been up to? I haven't heard from you. Like, I just go MIA. But I do like one post a year. My birthday post.
Right.
Speaking of, it's my birthday month. So that post is coming out soon, and everyone's gonna be like, what you been up to? You went MIA. Like, what happened? What's going on? So I do need to get better.
Definitely do.
It is your birthday month, and it's crazy because your best friend is who you spending your birthday with. Well, not the whole, like a part of it. A part of it. So at least you will see her in the month of September. One of your best. It's good. Good. So, y'all see how she had to throw that out there. It's her birthday, Mom. She'll be accepting gifts.
I think one of the important things that you said when you were talking about how when you were in school, you were in this circle. Despite where you landed, the value in being able to even be open to do that, that's paid dividends as you got older, because when you're in these different spaces, you're able to be in there and not be awkward, socially awkward and things like that. And people look at you like, no, you're this. You be like, guys, I really don't like talking to people. Nobody knows
I'm a
that.
True introvert.
No, but nobody can tell. So the value for somebody to be open and to carry that with them, just to even be able to put themselves out there, is more valuable than people know. A lot of people, I'll speak for myself. A lot of people, again, let me rewind that back because I'm so used to saying a lot of people. I think it was a kind of a protection mechanism. Let me keep my mouth shut so I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say I never put myself out there. I didn't come out of my shell until I really got into the military.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's when I started finding myself again, getting older and stuff like that, and then being able to. I felt like I had more control over my narrative and things I did, how I was presented and things like that. So, but biggest value that I found was actually opening up my mouth and saying.
Yeah.
So, and since then I've met a lot of true friends, like true friends
Absolutely.
that I can call right now, like, yo, I need this, and somebody gonna come.
They're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Don't be a life a introvert for life. You got to get out of that. That's the only way that you're gonna develop any sort of relationship. You can't stay with yourself. Yeah, you can. Most people rely on their strength and stuff like that to carry them through. But what happens when you don't have it to give? And you have nobody to contact, nobody to come through for you. So a circle is needed, regardless of how a lot of people feel.
A circle is needed.
It is.
It is. And I get, you guys, that sometimes things happen between friends that they're no longer your friend, they're your enemy. That's how you're looking at them. I understand things happen, but don't let one situation taint friendships for your entire life.
Yeah.
Don't. People are people, and you got to recognize that we're human. So if that has happened to you, where you're like, nope, I ain't letting nobody in my circle no more. I ain't letting nobody get to know me. Step out of that and let's give it another try, because things do happen. You tell a secret and you tell somebody don't say nothing, and then you hear that secret somewhere else. We're human. We are human. So don't let that situation affect your entire livelihood. That's all. That's all. People mean good, but sometimes they don't. It's not they're talking about you in a negative way. They could be in a group and like, yeah, my friend did that the other day and da 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 da. That's not talking about you. That's just letting folks know, like, gosh, I know somebody in the same situation. So, but also don't be naive now.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't be naive either. But don't let a situation stop you from opening yourself up.
Yeah.
You know, I've been seeing a lot of like, this could be why some people are nervous too, but on TikTok, I've been seeing a lot of people saying like bad friend stories, how they try to meet people and then they try to like scam them or just not have good intentions for them. That's
discernment. Yeah.
Say it
like
again.
She said, discernment.
Yep.
She's not saying go out here and be naive. You can't befriend everybody.
No,
everybody is not meant to be your friend.
No.
So, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying don't shut yourself completely down to a point where you pigeonhole yourself into a group that can effectively help you in some circumstances and get you to the places that you want to be and need to be.
That's true. That's real true. Speaking of, I have some family members that will bring people around and be like, "This is my friend," and I look.
That ain't it.
That ain't the one for you.
That ain't it.
And then even some of our friends do that. They're like, "Hey, we talking to this person. We want to know what you think." I'm like, don't bring them back around. That is not the person.
You have good instincts too. You spot on.
Oh yeah, real quick.
It's that energy, you guys. Seriously, it really is. It's like, you know, people can fake it. I'm not gonna say they can't. They can fake it, but you can't fake it forever.
Can't fake it.
Something's gonna happen, and you're gonna slip up. You're going to slip up. But for the most part, you know when a good person is around. You know when you're being scammed. You know when you're being used. But adults, let's find that child heart again. Let's make it a priority to have that fun or just have that friendship to like, I'm going to go play tag today. Oh, yeah. And while I'm playing tag, I'm going to meet somebody. I know I am. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Hey.
Adults, we are so guarded.
Yes.
We're so guarded. Instead of being so guarded, start using the gifts that you have been given to make sure the situation that you should be walking in, is it good or is it bad?
That's
and
good.
Stop making excuses on why you can't hang out.
That's right.
It's too late. You're already ready for bed. Like this, like that.
I know we're going a little long on this, but one of the things I loved about Keandra when she went to college is that she made it a point to say,
absolutely,
I'm going to go out and meet people.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, and she has grown.
You're funny. I love it. But what you say, be intentional with it.
Yes.
Don't make no excuses. What you say, White?
What I say? I forgot.
Have discernment.
Oh yeah, discernment.
Don't be naive.
Don't be naive.
Have fun. Find your inner kid.
Find your inner kid. I think we just dropped a few nuggets. Hopefully you will pick them up. But make sure you catch us here every week on YouTube, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music,
Lowe's, Home Depot, Zamp. So we in the parking lot.
Oh, okay. Make sure you go to Facebook group and join the WLJ community, because that is where we're putting some more nuggets every single day that will help you continue to walk through this journey called life. Thank you for joining us. And once again, always remember that we are walking this journey called life. You are. Key piece to your story. Thank y'all. Have a good one.
Peace.
Bye.